You are a magistrate in the city of Strasbourg in the suffocating heat of August 1518, and hundreds of your citizens are dancing themselves to death. The stage you ordered built in the horse market groans under the weight of swaying bodies, their faces vacant, their limbs flailing to a rhythm only they can feel. The pipers and drummers you hired play on, their music a frantic, unending pulse meant to cure this madness. But as another dancer collapses, their heart simply giving out, you realize this cure is a poison. Here is how you arrived at this moment. It begins a month earlier, in mid-July. The city is suffering. A series of bad harvests has led to famine. Disease is rampant, syphilis, leprosy, smallpox. The people are desperate, deeply superstitious, and praying for relief. That does not come. On a narrow cobblestone street, a woman named Frau Troffea steps out of her home. There is no music. There is no celebration. She simply begins to dance. Her arms swing, her body twists. It is a silent, compulsive performance under the hot summer sun. Her husband begs her to stop. She does not seem to hear him. Neighbors gather, watching with a mixture of pity and fear. She dances for hours, until nightfall collapses her from sheer exhaustion. After a few hours of pained sleep, she rises and begins again. This continues for 6 days. Her feet are swollen, cut, and bleeding, but she does not stop. You and the other city leaders become aware of the disturbance. The physicians of Strasbourg are consulted. They examine her from a distance, conferring with the city's powerful guilds. Their diagnosis is based on the accepted science of the day, the theory of the four humors. They declare Frau Troffea is suffering from hot blood. Her mind is overheated, causing this delirium. Their prescription is logical, according to their medicine. She must dance the fever out. The problem is, she is no longer alone. Within a week, 36 others have joined her. They are men, women, and some children. They abandon their work, their families, their homes. They simply start dancing in the streets, mirroring Frau Troffea's frantic, unending movements. You watch as the phenomenon spreads. It moves like a contagion through the city's poorest quarters. The number of dancers swells past 100. There is no clear pattern. A person can be standing still one moment and jerking uncontrollably the next. They are not joyful. Their faces are contorted in agony, their bodies slick with sweat. They cry out for mercy or scream in pain, but they cannot stop. Panic begins to grip Strasbourg. The city council, of which you are a member, holds an emergency session in the grand chamber of the Guildhall. The physicians are adamant. The only cure is more dancing. They advise a formal, organized effort to help these people expel the sickness from their bodies. You and your colleagues make a fateful decision. You will lean into the cure. You order the city's main guild halls and the indoor grain market to be cleared. These spaces are to become dance halls for the afflicted. You believe you are acting with compassion, providing a structured, safe environment for their recovery. But the plague intensifies. The numbers climb toward 400. The guild halls are not enough. You authorize the construction of a large wooden stage in the public horse market. It is a desperate public spectacle. To ensure the dancers keep moving, you hire professional musicians. Drummers, fiddlers, and pipers are paid to play day and night. The city, already straining under famine, now pays for a constant manic soundtrack to its own demise. You even hire healthy dancers, thinking their skilled movements might guide the afflicted into a more healing rhythm. The result is a catastrophe. The constant music and the public stage only seem to fuel the frenzy. The dancers are encouraged to push past their limits. The heat is relentless. People begin to die. You see them fall. They collapse from heart attacks. They die from strokes. They perish from pure physical exhaustion. Their bodies are carried away as the others continue to dance around the empty space left behind. Chroniclers of the time report that at the plague's peak, as many as 15 people are dying each day. The city transforms into a waking nightmare. The healthy citizens lock their doors, terrified the affliction is contagious. The air is filled with the constant thud of drums and the shuffling, stamping feet of the damned. The stench of sweat and sickness hangs heavy in the summer air. The cure has failed. Your well-intentioned, medically advised plan has become an instrument of death. You and the city council must accept this terrible truth. You gather again, this time in a state of desperation. The physicians have no other answers. The guilds are terrified for their members and for the city's trade. You reverse course completely. The medical explanation is abandoned. A new theory takes its place. This is not a natural illness. This is a supernatural curse. The council declares that the dancers have been smitten by the wrath of Saint Vitus. He is the patron saint of dancers and entertainers, but he is also known to inflict uncontrollable plagues of movement upon those who anger him. The solution, therefore, cannot be medical. It must be spiritual. You issue a new public ordinance. All music is forbidden within the city walls. The musicians you hired are dismissed. The great stage in the horse market is dismantled, board by board. Public dancing of any kind is now a crime. The city falls into an eerie and forced silence, broken only by the sounds of the still moving afflicted. Your new plan is one of penance. The dancers must be taken to a holy place to atone for whatever sin has brought this curse upon Strasbourg. They must seek forgiveness from Saint Vitus himself. The afflicted are rounded up. They are weak, delirious, their bodies broken. Many can no longer stand. You order them loaded onto wagons. They are carted out of the city gates, beginning a journey of several days into the Vosges Mountains. Their destination is the shrine of Saint Vitus, carved into the rock near the town of Saverne. At the shrine, a ritual is performed. The dancers, many held up by priests or family members, are led around the wooden effigy of the saint. Mass is said. They are given small wooden crosses to hold and new shoes to wear, their old ones having been danced to bloody rags. An offering is made in their name. And then, something changes. Slowly, over the course of days spent at the shrine, the dancing begins to subside. The compulsive movements lessen. The frantic energy bleeds away, replaced by a profound bone-deep exhaustion. Within a few weeks, the majority have stopped. The wagons that return to Strasbourg carry not dancers but sick and broken people who are finally, blessedly, still. By early September, the plague is over. The city breathes a collective sigh of relief, though it is scarred by the memory of what happened. You are left to govern a populace that has witnessed something inexplicable, a summer when hundreds of their neighbors danced until they died. Modern historians have a name for what you witnessed: mass psychogenic illness or mass hysteria. The people of Strasbourg in 1518 lived under unbearable psychological distress. Famine, poverty, and rampant disease were their reality. Their belief system was steeped in the supernatural, a world where saints could curse a whole town for an unknown transgression. The leading theory suggests that for some, the pressure became too much. Their minds entered a trance-like state, and their bodies expressed this extreme psychological trauma through physical action. Frau Troffea may have been the trigger, but the kindling was already there in the minds of hundreds of her fellow citizens. Seeing others in the same state reinforced the belief that they were all afflicted by the same supernatural force, creating a devastating feedback loop. Your initial decision to encourage the dancing based on the best medical advice you had inadvertently validated and intensified the hysteria. It was only when you changed the collective belief from a physical ailment to a spiritual curse with a spiritual cure. That's the story of the dancing plague of 1518. One of the last major outbreaks of this kind occurred in the 17th century, after which the phenomenon largely vanished from Europe. Subscribe to Enlighten Me for more.